What's up, everybody? It's Fabio Potent. You know this, bringing you guys today a Jujutsu Kaisen discussion. Now, what we're going to talk about today? Today, I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite things in Jujutsu Kaisen: madness and power. Madness and power, and when these two come together in the series, why it is the embodiment of what Jujutsu Kaisen is. So fuck all that introduction shit. Like I said, let's get straight into the video. Alright, I'm fully loaded. I'm ready to go. Now this video isn't gonna be long. Talk about some a few points of I'm gonna talk about three different instances when madness and power show up. Now, there's gonna be no Yuji in this video because I have a separate video idea for Yuji, so I want to keep them separate for a separate idea. But regardless, let's take a look. So today we're gonna talk about the madness and power of Jujutsu Kaisen. And one of the biggest reasons I personally fell in love with the series, because the concept. So, first, let's take a look at Megumi. Megumi Fushi Goro. Let's take a look at Megumi in chapter 58, the origin of obedience arc. So, as you guys know, I'm not going to go over the entire arc. You've already read it, I'm assuming, if you're here. Now, Megumi's in the fight with the cursed spirit or whatever, and it's a tough one. The curse is, it's a hard battle. The curse gets the upper hand. And it just beats the brakes off of Megumi, in short. Let's just be honest. It beats the piss out of him. And we know why, though, because as right before the cursed spirit is about to land a deadly blow, Megumi has a flashback, Shout out to Rayleigh from One Piece, kind of like this. He has a flashback with Gojo. And then the conversation between the two of them is very interesting because just like the present timeline of what we're being right now with the cursed spirit beating the living shit out of Megumi, Gojo does the same. He beats the living shit out of him in a training session. And Gojo tells Megumi that, is he taking this training because of Yuji's growth? Is he worried? And then he reassures him in that he has a higher ceiling than Yuji, but he lacks in the mental aspect, that he doesn't have it, that he's a step behind because he does not know how to bring out his best. That is what Gojo said. He said, you don't know how to bring out your best, my nigga. You soft. That's basically what he said not in the nice way, but in the Gojo way. Now Gojo, he brings up the infamous baseball chapter. Some people hate it, some people love it. I love it, actually, and I wish we got one after Shibuya, but it looks like we're not gonna get one. But anyway, he brings up the baseball chapter, and he asks Megumi why did he bump for Nobara. He said that you sacrificed her so that she could advance. Well, good for you. But people like me and Yuji, we always swinging for the fences, my nigga. We ballers. We built different. And he's saying that I'm not saying that sacrifice is bad. Baseball is a team sport. However, being Jujutsu sorcerer is an individual sport. Megumi asks, but isn't coordinating with other sorcerers important, And then that would be a contradiction to what he's saying about, we got to be teamwork, with the Jujutsu sorcerers. But then Gojo brings up something interesting that I'm going to bring up later when we talk about someone else, or him. We'll just say it now. We're going to talk about Gojo later. But he says this: yes, but no matter how many allies you have around you, you'll always die alone. Right now, you can only judge and match those around you, instead of picturing a stronger future you. Maybe it's because of the ace up your sleeve. You think in a worst case scenario, if you were to at least sacrifice yourself, all would end well. Keep that up and you can forget about becoming as strong as me. You won't even be a match for Nanami. See, he's calling him die and then win. And dying victoriously are two different things, Megumi. And then he continues to say, give it your all. It's okay to be selfish. Now, this dialogue is important. First of all, it's not the typical shonen shonen sensei-esque power. Usually the shonen, they always say, think of your friends, nakama. Oh, nakama, we always have each other. And then, no, fuck that shit, nigga. Sometimes you gonna be alone. Sometimes you gonna be alone. Sometimes it's not gonna be no friends, no help, nobody coming to save you. No. You better have that shit. You better be a real one. You better have techniques. You better be, cause in the end, and you'll die alone. And this is very, very interesting for Gojo to say this. When we bring it up later, we'll all come full circle. So I got to give this up to Gege. It's all full circle now. Like I said, I like this because sometimes we need our own strength, our own selfishness for survival, just to be strong for what, just because it feels good. And it's not a typical shonen idea, I think, to me at least. Usually the MCs or the sensei would always teach their students, power for your friends, be there for your others, don't forget your teammates. But Gojo's saying, yes, sometimes, but sometimes we're gonna need to be alone, and you're gonna need to have that smoke. Now Megumi, he awakens after being knocked out, because this is all a flashback, and he remembers back to his fight versus Sukuna, and Sukuna basically called him out just like Gojo. Everybody's bodying Megumi because he's not going all out from the start, and he says why, and then Megumi just loses everything. Well, not really. Maybe he gains something, actually. At first I thought he loses it, but maybe he gains something, because in this moment, this is probably the happiest expression I've ever seen him express in the, it's redundant, but whatever, in the entire series. This look of madness and joy is probably the happiest we've ever seen Megumi, and it's really weird because he's covered in his own blood, going absolutely insane, just saying, you know what? Fuck it. And Megumi activates his incomplete domain expansion. I'm not sure if all area expansions are going to be the translations for domain expansions not finished, but that's what he said. Area expansion or an incomplete domain expansion. Chimera, Shadow, Garden. Now this is epic. I remember this reading this weekly and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe Megumi made a jump like this. The first one to activate a pseudo domain expansion regardless. We see it's beautifully drawn too. Beautifully drawn. But that's besides the point. I'm over here going crazy over the art. Now this allows Megumi to move within the shadows of his opponent and just go absolutely insane. And we see him kind of just sliding all over the place, going crazy. So Megumi throws away his shackles of saving him the ace for the end as a last resort. What's wrong with going all out from the start? What's wrong with being yourself? Just going absolutely crazy. And this is the first instance in which we see madness displayed also alongside the power increase. And this is what I'm talking about. Megumi went from a super chill, composed, calm character. You know how we are. He's he's not like an edgelord. He's just like a chill dude. Like he's just a chill dude. Like Megumi's just a chill guy, and he went from that to that expression, to being absolutely happy, to being strong, to being the fight and the power in exchange for the madness, quote unquote. I'll get more into that at the end of the video, but this is like, there was probably instances before, but this was like the first time I saw it, like before my eyes, like, okay, this is insane. But let's talk about Nobara next, because Nobara is the next character that I want to talk about that displays madness and power. There's 60. Nobara and Yuji are in the fight with the brothers, the Curse brothers, the two. We know what I'm talking about. Fucking Shizuko and Izo or something, I think the name, I forget, bro. Now the brothers, they think they won. I know that shit because they activate the curse rot technique. As you know, this is a famous panel in this series. This is a famous panel in this series. This is my profile picture. And Nobara stabs herself. Well, no, let me tell you that. They think they won, but they couldn't be more wrong. Nobara begins to show her madness at this point, saying that, oh, she knows how to do this instantly. And this is very interesting because compared to Yuji, Nobara's already been all out from the beginning. She already kind of has like that psychotic nature, that madness, and it's on full display here. Nobara stabs herself through the forearm, using her resonance ability on herself by turning herself basically into the doll, inflicting the pain on the enemy. And you know, Nobara's a psycho bitch, but that's why we like her. And she asked the two of them if they would like to play a game of chicken, just to see, you know, play a game of chicken to see in the game how much tolerance they can go. Nobara is ready to die. She's ready to die from the beginning. Unlike Megumi, who needed a little bit of remembering a flashback with Gojo, Nobara's already ready to die. She says, if I'm going down, I'm using resonance to take the two of you down with me. She's just like, fuck it. If we all going, I will just kill you. It's the dub. It's this. Like, we always talk about this, like, And the look in her face as she's doing this, like, she stabbed herself in total 3 times through the arm. And as we know, shortly, Yuji's beating the brakes off of the dude, and shortly after, the two of them use Black Flash. Now, I remember reading this weekly, and I remember the comments and people talking about this chapter. This was like the few time when Gege depicts the protagonist as like monstrosities, and we were like, what the fuck? A lot of us were like, this is when we knew Kaisen was different. This arc, really, this is it. Like, we liked it a lot. I already liked it. This is when I was like, okay, this shit is different. Like, this shit is different. Nobar, after they shortly activate the Black Flash, Nobar kills Kizichu, I think I'm saying his name, as he jumps from behind with her hairpin. And it's absolutely crazy what she does. Not only does Nobar not even turn around to see the body drop, I'm assuming, and you can see it, blood's pouring all over her. Her hair is drenched, blood's pouring all over the ground. She looks like a fucking psycho. And she's saying, don't worry, I'll be sending Big Brother your way soon. This is what I'm talking about. Don't really see shonen protagonists act this way, even in killing villains, or if they do, it's usually a sorrow way. It's like, I don't want to do this, you know, we can talk. And Nobar, Pink ain't no talk, no, she didn't even look around, she didn't even turn around to see the body drop. You see the thud sound, and she don't even turn around. She don't even turn around to see the body drop. Once again, we see an increase in power, and also the madness and display. I'm gonna talk about it more when I actually think about this, but we have one more character to talk about, and I think it's gonna all come full circle. Last but not least, we have Mr. Satoru Gojo himself. Now let's talk about his madness. Now, fast forward to chapter 74. Y'all know, after the Toji dropped him, killed him, we thought we knew he wasn't dead because it was in a flashback, but we were like, damn, what the fuck? Toji kills Gojo, at least he thinks he did. And then Gojo pops up looking like a fucking tweaker off meth at a fucking transit bus stop, looking like a fucking junkie out of his goddamn mind. And Gojo explains that he figured out the secret to reverse curse technique, that multiplying negative curse energy to make positive energy, that's reverse curse technique. And he's going on and on. Toji comments that Gojo is rambling and that he's delirious. But I think he's just gone crazy off the power that he's just obtained. And I think this is the clearest indication of madness and power in the series. And also, it helps bring back full circle what Gojo told Megumi about it's okay to be selfish, you'll die alone. Because he knows that full well. When he fought Toji, and he didn't go all out, and he didn't have everything, he got bodied. Toji, like, we did not in a flat. I ain't never seen Gojo lose, and he lost, and he was almost about to die alone. He knows this all too well, so he's trying to explain to Megumi it's okay. And back to the fight, or this moment, Toji says the battle is just beginning. Gojo stands looking like a crackhead, screaming, "What is that right? Maybe you're so right. I don't know." He's just standing there going crazy. And I think this is probably the clearest, like I said over 1,000 times, this is probably the clearest example of madness in the series. Gojo flies around looking like he's high out of his mind. And this is what I'm talking about, the callback to Megumi and what he says to him. Because, you know, the girl died, the Amani girl died or whatever. Like I said, y'all already read the arc. I'm not going over everything. And then the Gojo, he says, "Sorry, Amani. Right now, I'm not angry for you, nor do I feel vengeful toward anyone. Right now, it's just that everything feels right." This is truly different from any shonen that we've ever seen. Usually we always see, "I'm gonna do this for you. They shouldn't have killed you." Nah, he's like, "Nah, listen, what happened to you was wrong, but I'm sorry. I'm not doing this for you, for anyone else. I'm not even mad at him. This shit just feels good." And I always wondered, in these superpower series, like these powerful shonen, what would happen to these humans if they had this type of power? Honestly, I know it sounds crazy and corny, but that's really how I think. How would being able to like punch a mountain or something, or destroy buildings, how would that affect your mental? how would that make you feel? Would it make you feel like a god? Would it make you feel unstoppable? Would you start doing crazy things? And I'm glad that Kaisen is kind of doing that. Not like super deep, but it's happening right before our very eyes. These characters are getting very, very powerful for their own gain, and it feels very, very good to them. I also think it has something to do with the amount of cursed energy inside of his own body and whatever, but that's just me. Up to Gege for bringing this up in the Megumi flashback in the Child of Obedience arc, the Origin of Obedience arc, excuse me, and then bringing it forth for Gojo, showing when he almost died alone, why it's okay to, for why he said that it's okay to be selfish, because he felt that in that moment. That selfishness, that selfishness saved his life. It saved him right here. And I always, like I said, I always loved how that scene of it affecting his mentor, and I always thought that the power just got into his head and just went absolutely crazy. And I like that sometimes that happens in this series. Sometimes characters get strong and they just go out of their fucking mind because they're just like, holy shit, all this power, and they just start off in niggas. That was all I wanted to say, though, just real quick. Talk about a little bit of the madness and power in Jujutsu Kaisen. But what do you guys think about that? There's probably other instances. What's your favorite instance of madness and power? Is this even a thing, or am I reaching? Regardless, though, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel. You know, we'll see a chapter in, like, what, next couple of days? Yeah. But I'm also going to make a video about Yuji. When? I don't know. We'll be out. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think about the madness and power in Kaisen. And I'll see y'all in the next one.